Good morning to all the students. As we have already started this chapter, Lost Spring. Is my voice audible to everyone, Beta? So, Beta, on page 17, we are going to start second part. I want to drive a car. As I have already discussed, Lost Spring is divided in two parts. Part one we have already done. Now it's turn for the second part. I want to drive a car. So I have written mainly two characters. There are some more minor characters that I'll be introducing to you later on. So Mukesh is another boy. As we have read about Sahib in first part, similarly we have Mukesh in this part. And author herself will be interacting with this character, and we'll get to know more about Mukesh through author in this manner. Okay, so page 17. While introducing, when we compare Mukesh with Sahib, in case of Sahib, he was a rag picker. He would collect garbage items and then he would survive on such things. The means of survival for people of Simapuri was garbage dumps. It was like gold to them. And they were in the perpetual state of poverty. They cannot think beyond that level. Similarly, in the case of Mukesh, the background of this part, I want to drive a car, is Firozabad. Beta, Vaibhav R is from your class. Vaibhav R. Or some other class, because I don't remember the names. Okay. Clear, beta? So we were discussing about the background, which is Firozabad, famous for making bangles. And Mukesh is born in such families which are known for making bangles only, but he dares to dream different. He wants to become a motor mechanic, and he says, confidently looking straight into the eyes of the author, she asked, do you know anything about cars? I will learn to drive a car. His dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his own town, Firozabad. Underline the word mirage, M-I-R-A-G-E. Mirage here means illusion. Illusion. Underline the word mirage. It means illusion. Looms like, it seems like that he is dreaming, he is daring to dream different. All people from Firozabad, they make bangles, and only Mukesh is the one who is thinking of becoming a motor mechanic. And it seems to be illusion, which is not true. Illusion is which cannot be possible, because of in the dust of those glass blowing industry and those bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. See, it is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnaces, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. Underline this. So it seems that bangles for all the women in this world is being made over there. It seems when you go there and when you see in Firozabad, everywhere mounds and heaps of bangles lying here and there. colorful bangles, as if all the women of the world uh, can buy bangles from Firozabad only. So such is the scenario. All the families have spent generations working around furnaces. And Mukesh's family is among one of them. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in glass furnaces with high temperatures. So next theme of this chapter, child labor. Clear? Kindly note down, child labor. Because in the case of Sahib Alam also, he was a child and working at a tea stall. In the case of Mukesh, many children from their families were working in hot furnaces in front of the fire in dingy cells, and many of them, they have lost their eyesight also. So this chapter throws light on child labor. This is the first theme, you can say the foremost theme, and then perpetual state of poverty is the next one. Perpetual state of poverty. One more is there that I'll be discussing later because they have not mentioned about it yet. So Mukesh's family is among them. Everyone, my voice is audible to you, beta? I'm asking so that I can continue. Kindly send me thumbs up. Okay, beta, got it. So Mukesh's family is one among them. None of them know that it is illegal, that making children work. They do not know, because for them their survival is based on when each and every member of the family will be working together. So that the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children out of the hot furnaces where they slog their daylight hours. Underline the word slog. Slog means to hit hard. Slog, S-L-O-G. It's on the same page 17. Slog means to hit hard. They are saying, author is saying, if they get to know that if law implies, if they follow the norms of law, that children are not supposed to work in such circumstances which are quite dangerous for their lives. So even if it implies, then 20,000 children can come out of such dangerous situation. It means near about approximately 20,000 or more children are working in dingy cells making bangles and end up losing their lives or eyesight. Mukesh's eyes beam. Beam means shine. You can see that brightness in it. As he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. So author Annie June, she talks to this boy Mukesh, and Mukesh tells her very excitedly that, you know, my house is being rebuilt. Some construction is going on. I'll show you. Let's join me. Come with me. We walk down stinking lanes choked with garbage past homes that remain hovels with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, no windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in a primeval state. Underline two words now, then I'll underline all the lines. This is actually the condition where Mukesh and other families are living. The physical condition, the circumstances where they are actually living and breathing. So third word is hovels, H-O-V-E-L-S. Next is primeval. Vowels means open shed. Primeval means related to earlier stages. Early period you can write. Note down, same page 70. Vowels, open shed, primeval, related to early period. Clear, beta? Kindly note down side by side. So now the condition I'm going to talk about, stinking lanes. When you walk past such a place, the smell is unbearable. It's stinking and choked with garbage. You could see dark garbage dumps lying here and there. And open shed, they are living under the open shed ovals they have created so that they could save themselves from sun and rain. Crumbling walls and wobbly doors means such doors which are quite wobbly, which can fall next minute even if you can remove with the hand, which is quite movable, which can fall down anytime. Crumbling walls and wobbly door, it means they can fall apart at any time. This is the condition of houses over there. Lanes are stinking, choking, garbage is lying here and there, and humans and animals coexisting. That's why they say primeval state. Primeval means related to early period, primeval, previous, when people would live together with animals and children and everyone together under one shed. So that's why, and huge families are there along with animals. So this is the state, you can say pathetic state they are living in. He steps at the door of one such house. So he is taking author along with him, very proudly showing that our house is being rebuilt. And he enters one such door, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot. He bangs with his foot, making sound, and thatched with dead grass is there. On the rooftop, they have just put grass only. Firewood stove over which sits a large vessel. Stove. They are not having, obviously, they're not having the facility of gas and all. They have just bundle of wood, firewood, and then they have put a huge vessel upon it. So, you may say that the condition is quite pathetic, and you could see large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. One of the lady in the family of Mukesh, now other characters are coming. Firstly, we have Mukesh and author, now other characters which are minor characters, which are present, but they do not have any active role in it. Passive characters, they are coming. But you need to take notes of these characters also. So one huge pot, a vessel is there on the firewood, and spinach leaves are being boiled in it. On the ground in large aluminium platters are more chopped vegetables. By seeing that scene, you could see that something is being cooked. A frail is very weak. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. And that frail young woman is actually wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Clear? Minor character. So we have Mukesh's brother also, Mukesh's father also, and wife of Mukesh's brother. It means Mukesh's bhabhi. You won't be using the word bhabhi in this because that is Hindi word. Mukesh's brother's wife. Clear? So Mukesh and his family, they are total 4 in number. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. She's cooking the family food, smiling, and by the same time, she is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Next page, beta, page 18. Those who have joined later, beta, we are doing part 2. I want to drive a car, page 18 now. Not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as the Bahu, the daughter-in-law of the house. Already in charge of 3 men, her husband, Mukesh, and their father. So she's, why they have called her in charge? Because she is responsible for cooking meals, washing utensils, washing clothes, everything, cleaning the house. She's not that older because girls at very young age used to get married at that era. She is a young woman, very frail, very weak, and she's the Bahu or the daughter-in-law of the house, and she's taking care of 3 men, that is Mukesh, his brother, and Mukesh's father. And when father of Mukesh would enter the house, she would conceal herself behind the wobbly wall. Why? Because women are meant to show respect for the men of the family. So she is living in such scenario. That's why they have used primeval stage. Humans and animals coexisting. Women are supposed to do all the daily chores without the help of men. But at the same time, she is not supposed to come in front of the elder male of the family. In case of this chapter, we have Mukesh, the father. Whenever he enters the home, she hides her face under a wheel by putting dupatta on her face. And she's not supposed to show her face to father-in-law. See, this is the state they are living in. In this case, the elder is an. Now underline the character sketch of Mukesh's father. Character sketch of Mukesh's father. In this case, the elder one is an impoverished bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his 2 sons to school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. So this is actually, they have talked about the failure of Mukesh's father. He was working as a tailor first to make all his ends meet, and then he started following the God-given lineage to them. Why I'm saying God-given lineage? Because people think so, that this art of bangle making is given to us by forefathers, we will continue that only. So Mukesh's father, firstly, he was working as a tailor, but he could not make much money out of it. So he changed his profession from that to started making bangles. He could not make or rebuild his house. He could not send his children to school. So that's why Mukesh and his brother both remained uneducated, illiterate, you can say. But all he has managed to teach them is the art of making bangles only. Next, underline another important character, Mukesh's grandmother. So I must say, Mukesh, his father and grandmother has important role to play here. And last, we can say brother and the daughter-in-law of the house, wife of Mukesh's brother, they have very minor roles. So when you get questions in boards, they might be about Mukesh, author, Mukesh's father, Mukesh's grandmother also. Once there was a question about this statement which we are going to do now, beta. Underline. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. So what is the thinking of elderly ladies of the house? That it is his karam, his destiny. Everything she puts on destiny. They do not believe in their own, you can say, efforts. They are very hardworking, no doubt, but she's having rigid or orthodox thinking. She says everything is karam. It's the destiny. If she has lost her husband got blind due to this bangle making only. She lost her husband due to this. But even then she believes it was his karma, it was destiny. Can a God-given lineage ever be broken? She implies. Underline this line again. This is the mindset of grandmother of Mukesh as well as many elderly ladies of that era. She says lineage. Underline the word lineage. Lineage means which is descending from forefathers. Descending from forefathers. When you get anything in lineage, she says, can a God-given lineage ever be broken? Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles in the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad, spiral of bangles, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color, born out of 7 colors of the rainbow. So she thinks that God has given this work to us. It can never be broken. We have to take it as a prasad and we have to continue with this lineage. And everywhere heaps of different colored bangles could be seen lying here and there. And nobody can stop this, you can say, art of making bangles. Everybody has accepted this destiny as karma. Clear? So next we'll be continuing in the 5th period. Beta, I have today arrangement is there, but you are supposed to attend the class because I'll be completing this part. I want to drive a car. So it is important for all of you to attend. Okay. Have a nice day.